Today we're going to be checking out this Logitech Yeti GX microphone. This mic is going to be designed for gamers, streamers, and just anyone who's into really cool tech. So in the box what you're going to get, of course, is the microphone, a USB-A to USB-C power cable, the base of the microphone, which is where the microphone screws into, and last but not least, an adapter that allows you to mount this on a boom arm mount. So installing this microphone into the base is going to be super simple. All you need to do is get this edge here and screw it in, and then it's going to be that simple. So first impressions, this thing looks really cool. I absolutely love the way this thing looks, especially with this little angle right here. This thing just looks awesome. It doesn't look like most traditional microphones. It feels very unique. Most microphones sit on a tripod or just have this big base, but this is very unique because of this arch here. This thing is going to be quite heavy, and that's because most of it is made of metal materials. The microphone is going to be made of metal, the arch here is going to be made of metal, as well as the base. So when you lay this thing down, you know this thing is going to be sitting firm on your desk. So powering on this mic is going to be really simple. All you do is you plug it into the bottom here, and to make it easier, they give you this adjustable dial that spins, and when you loosen it, the mic can now rotate on the arm fairly easily. What I'm going to do is loosen it and then tilt it, and then we're going to go ahead and plug in the USB-C cable into here. And the USB-A part just plugs into your computer and you're good to go. It's really a plug-and-play solution. So we just powered it on, and man, this thing looks really cool with these RGB lights. You got some purple Logitech logo here, and then you have these nice blue lights over there. And if we flip it over, you can see that there is going to be a microphone adjustment dial that adjusts how loud the microphone volume is going to be, and then you also have a mute button, and when you press that, the dial turns red. If you press it again, it goes blue. Now before we get into the mic test and software, I really wanted to show you what's inside the softener. If we just pull it on the top here, you can see here is the actual microphone, and this is going to be using a super cardioid dynamic microphone. And basically what that means is you need to speak directly into the top of the microphone and not into the sides, because it's not going to pick up your voice that well. So you're going to have to use this dial here to kind of tilt it at an angle like this and then speak into it from the top. Otherwise, you won't be utilizing this microphone to its full extent. All right, so now let's go ahead and actually do some mic tests so you guys can hear what this thing sounds like in different positions and angles. Okay, so now we're speaking on the Yeti GX, and this is what it sounds like. Testing 1 2 3, testing 1 2 3, and this is using it at the angle like this. So it's pointing, my voice is pointing directly at the top of the mic. Now let's see what happens if I still keep the distance right next to me. It's about half a foot away. Let's tilt it upwards, and now it's going to be straight like so. And here's what it sounds like. Testing 1 2 3, testing 1 2 3. Okay, now I want to put this in a real world use case kind of environment where, let's say you have a keyboard and mouse setup going for you and you're actually streaming and playing games at the same time. So you would probably keep the microphone over here, and you can tell that it is probably starting to get quieter. So I'm going to put the mouse and keyboard over here, and the microphone is over there. So the microphone is about, I want to say, 1.5 feet away from me this way. And this is more ideal for if you're using this for gaming. Now let's see what happens if I actually tilt it sideways. And this is what it's going to sound like at an angle now. So testing 1 2 3. Testing 1 2 3. So now the next thing we're going to test is using it with a boom arm mount, so that way you can use your keyboard and mouse properly. So now we have the microphone plugged into this mount. This isn't exactly a boom arm mount, just something I hacked together real quick. But if you had a boom arm mount on your desk, this is kind of the setup. But this is what it would kind of sound like if you had a microphone pointing directly at your mouth, and you're able to use your keyboard and mouse comfortably without the microphone stand being in your way. As much as I love this stand and wish I can use it, it's just not ideal if you're using your keyboard and mouse at the same time. But if you're just doing podcasting where you're not using your keyboard and mouse, then using the stand is going to be totally fine, and you don't really need to get a boom arm mount. So the next test I want to do with this microphone is having some background noise playing while speaking to the mic, and let's see how much this microphone actually cancels out. Okay, so we have some background noise playing, and this is what it's going to sound like while I'm speaking into the mic, and there's going to be noise in the background. So I'm going to stop talking for a sec and see if you can hear the noise. All right, so that's what the mic sounds like. Now let's hop on the Logitech G Hub software to see what sort of things you can actually adjust with it. So once you plug the microphone into the Logitech G Hub software, this is gonna be what you're greeted with, kind of like a little tutorial. So it shows here that if the microphone knob is glowing white, that means your mic is on. If it's green, that means you're successfully delivering audio. And if it's on red, that means your microphone volume is too high and you need to turn it down a bit. Once you find a good microphone audio level, all you do is you press the button and it's gonna turn from green to blue. And what that means is you're gonna mic the microphone audio level in that sort of range, and it's never gonna start clipping on you or be too quiet. And once you get through the menu, you're gonna have a few different options. Here's your microphone settings. So in order to use this, you have to enable the Yeti Blue Voice. And here you can start adjusting the dials to see what everything is gonna sound like. You're gonna have an equalizer, some gain inputs, as well as an overall master output level. And then if I click on the tab over here, you have the equalizer, and then here's the single cleanup. A bunch of things you can tune here. I'm not exactly a professional when it comes to audio, but if you know what you're doing, you can definitely start limiting some of these. I'm just using this microphone how it came out of the box. And if you don't know what you're doing, you can go ahead and pick some of these presets over here. So if you press them, these are already some pre-made ones for like boom arm setups or even desk setups. And then you can tweak the way your voice sounds by going to the effects, and you can have all these random ones like alien, robot, fishbowl, a lot of random ones. So this is definitely more for fun. And then in the sampler, you have a bunch of different sound samples that you can have. You have things like air raid, expressions, bye-bye, hello, what, wow, a bunch of random ones. And then the other tab is going to be LIGHTSYNC, and this is how you customize the RGB light on the mic. So here we do have some presets, and you can go to like a fixed color where it's just nice and blue all the time. You can have a breathing mode where it's pulsing from bright blue and then it dims out and then just keeps going on loop like that. You have color cycling, and you can tweak the rate as you can see over here. This is pretty cool if you want to cycle between all of the colors. Then you have color wave. This is going to be more like a rainbowy effect. And then you do have this cool one called screen sampler. So it looks at your screen and just tries to mimic those colors as much as it can. So for me, my screen is mainly blue and black, and you can tell the microphone also looks pretty blue, but more of a dim blue. And then you also have audio visualizer, which will basically flash different colors based on your audio levels. Then you have freestyle mode, and here you can really choose every color by selecting them on the wheel over here. And then you can also adjust what the Logitech G logo looks like as well. And then you also have animations if you want to go ahead and customize them. And here are some of the effects you can have, and you can even make your own if you click add new animation and then just build it out yourself, and you have your animation builder here, which we won't be going into depth in this video. Now Logitech also announced their Yeti Orb mic, and this microphone here is pretty much going to be the little brother. It's going to have less features and be cheaper compared to the Yeti GX. So if you want to see a dedicated review on this, be sure to click the video up here. With that being said, thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.